The good news for St Johnstone fans is that they are the second most successful Scottish club over the past decade. However, bad news for St Johnstone fans is they will be adding no more trophies to their cabinet as they have appointed Craig Levein as the brand new manager. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, and St Johnstone are now destined for Championship football next season because they have hired Mr. 460 himself. He replaces Stephen McLean. Stephen McLean, I think, rightfully had to go. The players didn't give a shit. They weren't playing for him. Whether you like it or not, he was not going to keep St Johnstone in the top flight of Scottish football. And I don't think St Johnstone deserve to be in the top flight ever since they sacked Callum Davidson. The guy done something that nobody thought was possible. He did a cup double in the one season with St Johnstone. Will probably never replicate it again with any team outside of the old firm. Yet he done it and he got fired by the club. So you know what? If St Johnstone go down, I don't really care. I don't have any sympathy for them, although maybe a little bit of sympathy because they have hired Craig Levein. But, you know, let's get into it. Let's talk about Craig Levein for a little bit. As much as people don't like the guy and as much as people think the guy is a knob and that he is a bad manager, and you know what, I can agree with all of those things, I think he has a worse reputation than he deserves, and I truly mean that. This guy's had 2 stints at Hearts, but if we're being honest, the first one wasn't that bad. And I don't think the second one, don't get me wrong, wasn't good. But the second one wasn't exactly horrendous. We've had worse managers than Craig Levein, I'll say it. Hearts have had worse managers than Craig Levein. And if you actually look at Craig Levein in Scotland, like I said, his first stint as Hearts manager from December 2000 to October 2004, he played 170 games and he won 74 of them, giving him a win percentage of 43.53%. And during that period, he did okay as Hearts manager. He was decent. I mean, it wasn't fantastic, but it was decent. Don't get me wrong, things got a hell of a lot better when he left. We had the 2005 season where we finished second. But he was okay, and he did a good enough job to earn a move to Leicester, where things didn't exactly go too good for him. He then found himself back in Scotland at Raith Rovers before getting the Dundee United job in 2006, which, of course, he did a good job at. You can't deny it. He won 55 games, drew 40 and lost 42, giving him a win percentage of 40.15%, which for Dundee United guys is pretty good. So he did an okay job at Dundee United, and I remember at the time Dundee United were a decent force under Craig Levein. So I think we need to give the guy a bit of credit. He's had some failures, he's had some howlers, no one would deny that. But the guy hasn't sucked this entire managerial career, let's be honest, okay? It's not like he's failed at every single position he has had. The Dundee United performances got him the Scotland job. I don't really want to talk too much about the Scotland job because I'm trying to forget that 460 and the heartbreak against the Czech Republic. But we did get 24 games with Craig Levein and he won 10 of them with a 41.67 win percentage. Now, don't get me wrong, is 41.67% great? Is it anywhere near what the god Steve Clarke is doing? No, but back then there was a hell of a lot of Scotland managers that did worse than 41.67%. After Scotland, he took a long time out, about 5-6 years out of managing before ending back up at Hearts, where he had another stint. He won 42 games out of 106 played, a 39.62 win percentage. It wasn't great. People wanted him out the club, and you know, rightfully so, because it just wasn't working out. But to sit here and say that he's the worst Hearts manager in the past decade, that would be a lie, because we've had Ian Cathro and we've currently got Stephen Naismith, and I would take Craig Levein over Stephen Naismith every day of the week. But now the guy is going to St Johnstone, and we're going to see what he's made of. He's had about 3-4 years out of managing. He's coming in fresh. He's coming in a chance to right some wrongs. We know his reputation is pretty much shot. Everyone makes fun of Craig Levein. But if he can come in, if he can keep St Johnstone up, then fair play to him. If he can do it, then he deserves credit, and it will be, you know, a decent coup for him, and it will be something that he will get praised for, and rightfully so. And it might be the most impressive thing that he's ever done as a manager if he comes in and keeps St Johnstone in the top flight. I just don't think he will. I think he's too negative. I don't think St Johnstone's got a good team. I just don't really see this guy turning it around and keeping St Johnstone in the top division. The only thing I think that could maybe save Craig Levein is that Livingston are beginning to struggle, and maybe he can look to catch them. But other than that, there's not that many weak teams. Maybe Ross County, but I mean Dundee, a team that normally come up and go straight back down, they're looking good this year. So that's one less team that he can potentially catch. So yeah, it's going to be difficult for him. St Johnstone currently last. I would say they've got the weakest. I'd say they've got the weakest 11 and weakest squad out of the top flight. So you know what? He's got the deck is stacked against Craig Levein, but like I said, if he can do it, if he can keep them in the top flight, then he will deserve a hell of a lot of credit. So we'll just have to wait and see if he can get it done. He does sign for St Johnstone on a 2.5-year deal, and his contract will now run out in May 2026. So I would assume that he will be kept on, even if St Johnstone do go down. The fact that he signed a 2.5-year deal shows me that he is going to be sticking around for the long run. I think they will probably stick with him, even if they do end up in the Championship, and they probably will give him, you know, the chance to bring them back up. I think they'll put some faith in Craig Levein, unless, of course, he finishes this season like in such a bad way that they have to get rid of him. Then that's a possibility. But I think if he is pretty competitive and he does an okay job and still takes them down, I believe they'll give him a chance to come straight back up. He will also be joined by former Hearts striker Andy Kirk, who played at Hearts under Craig Levein's management. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Personally, if I was a St Johnstone fan, I'd be nervous right now, but what I will say is Craig Levein gives you a better chance of staying up than Stephen McLean does, because Stephen McLean was taking St Johnstone absolutely nowhere but down to the lower tiers of Scottish football. So that's it, guys. Craig Levein, the new St Johnstone manager. Get the memes ready, get the banter years ready for St Johnstone, because yeah, things could be about to get interesting. That's it though. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.